We're here at CyberScoop's Zero-Trust Summit with Tom Gann. Tom is Chief Public Policy Officer at Trellix. Tom, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, it's great to be here and look forward to a conversation.
Well, let me start by asking, how has OMB's Zero-Trust requirements for agencies to adopt things like enterprise-wide platforms for identity and access management and multifactor authentication, how has that impacted government contractors and IT providers like Trellix?
Well, I think it's been a huge welcome wake-up call. I think for the entire ecosystem, whether the big defense contractors, the integrators, or the product companies like us, it's an opportunity to help deliver a paradigm shift. There's been a change already taking place for quite a while of recognizing that the perimeter will always be violated, that endpoint solutions of a traditional kind have run their course, as have firewalls. The need now is to protect throughout an organization, think about access, think about who should be allowed to have what type of access to what type of data. And so for the entire community, it's an opportunity to rally around this new imperative and to help government achieve this paradigm shift.
Well, and then what challenges do you see government agencies still facing trying to maintain, for example, a complete inventory of authorized devices as spelled out by OMB and ensure that their endpoint detection and response tools are, being properly deployed?
Well, one of the challenges that we hear about in the EDR space, and you hear it from officials at DHS and OMB, is that currently there are EDR tools from as many as 18 to 20 vendors that have been deployed throughout agencies. That then requires each agency to implement a tool, learn a unique tool, staff up to execute on a unique tool, and very often those tools don't talk to each other because some portion of them are based on proprietary technologies. In our view, the objective is to make sure that there are common open interfaces such that all of the EDR tools can talk and work with each other to enable the government to have clarity from a world that is very complex.
And then how well equipped would you say federal agencies are today compared to, say, just a couple of years ago to identify and isolate segments of their IT environments that may have been compromised?
So overall, agencies have made great progress in the last 15 years. If you went back 15 years ago, the debate was in many quarters, what is cybersecurity? Do we really have a problem? Over the march of history, this period of time, agencies have improved their capabilities, their people, their resources. In terms of EDR, the objective, though, remains, and that's getting the right level of funding, getting the right level of focus so organizations, agencies can comply with the EDR requirements in the executive order. So there's still work to be done.
And then lastly, Tom, looking ahead, how are OMB's Zero-Trust policies altering the investment strategies at companies like yours?
Well, first and foremost, it's putting a lot of focus on Zero-Trust. Zero-Trust has been a paradigm shift that's been going on for quite some time. In our own organization, we've implemented Zero-Trust rules for quite some time. Other large organizations have done that too. I think one of the biggest implications, though, of the EO is that it will continue to pump prime investments from the VC community in new innovative startups. The one thing we know for certain is that innovation happens, and it will generally happen from places you don't expect. So that's very important in the cybersecurity space because the greatest, most innovative technology today that's stopping attacks may be out of date in 18 months. So we need to ensure that those innovators can innovate, that they're invested, that we pull in the investment and the new technologies into the government sector quickly. And we need to make sure that the architecture on Zero-Trust that is deployed from traditional vendors is open enough to absorb innovation from wherever it comes. If we do that, and we do that together, I think we can make great progress on Zero-Trust.
Well, Tom Gann, thank you so much for joining us here at the Zero-Trust Summit.
Awesome, thank you.